Have you ever stopped to think about where the metal that supports your house, your roof, or rather your world comes from? The nail in your wall, the refrigerator in your kitchen, or even the components that allow you to watch this incredible video on your phone or computer right now. Now imagine discovering that all of this may have originated in the same place. Not in a factory, not in a city, but in a colossal labyrinth of red mountains, hidden amidst the most untouched greenery on the planet. Furthermore, have you ever heard of an iron island? It seems surreal, but yes, it exists. We're talking about the Serra dos Corajas, in the heart of the Amazon, in Para, northern Brazil. An iron island so gigantic and so pure that, seen from space, it looks like an open scar in the forest. But inside, it functions like a metallic heart, active, working day and night. But don't be fooled. Corajas isn't just a big quarry. We're talking about the largest open-pit iron mine on the planet. A place where the concept of big simply loses its meaning. To give you an idea, if you've ever cursed yourself changing a car tire in the hot sun, imagine changing a tire that weighs 5 tons. Here, the hydraulic jack would need an engineering degree, an instruction manual in Latin, and maybe a prayer at the end. And then comes the burning question. Why is all this in the middle of the Amazon? How did one of the planet's greatest mineral treasures end up exactly in the heart of the world's largest rainforest? The answer begins almost like a movie. In 1967, a team of geologists had to make a forced landing in a clearing in the middle of the jungle. No high-tech laboratory. No satellite. Just bush, heat, and strangeness. They noticed something was wrong as soon as they stepped on the ground. There were no large trees there. The soil was so rich in metal that the forest itself, wise as always, decided to retreat. It was as if nature had placed an invisible sign saying, "Not here." What they had discovered was absurd. Billions of tons of iron, with a level of purity that seems unbelievable. You know that 90% cocoa chocolate, intense, strong, almost excessive? The iron from Corajas is the gourmet iron of the planet. While in many places the world struggles to extract 30% of the metal from the rock, here nature delivered an ore with more than 65% purity, practically ready to become a bridge, a building, or an entire city. This discovery placed Brazil at the center of the global chessboard. We became a key player in the construction of the modern world. But messing with a giant like this raises uncomfortable questions. How to extract millions of tons of metal without wiping the green off the map? How does a mountain of iron sustain entire economies while the whole world watches every tree felled? In this video, we'll delve deep into this red earth. See machines that look like they're straight out of a science fiction movie. And understand why Corajas is, at the same time, Brazil's largest bank account, and its biggest environmental challenge. And just to wrap this part up with a real sense of scale, the trucks that operate there don't have tires. They have circular rubber monuments. Each tire is taller than you, and costs the price of a luxury apartment. And no, that's not an exaggeration. To understand how this iron giant ended up in the middle of the jungle, we need to go back in time. But how long, exactly? Decades? Centuries? No. Billions of years. Come back with me to 2.7 billion years ago, when Earth was still in its testing phase. An unstable, hot, violent planet. The ocean was boiling. Volcanoes spewed fire. And there, at the bottom of the sea, something began to happen. What was nature preparing? A geological accident, or a masterpiece? Imagine Earth setting up a barbecue of planetary proportions. Iron and silica thrown to the bottom of the ocean. Absurd pressure. Constant volcanic heat. No hurry. Time was infinite. The result? A rock so dense, so metallic, that billions of years later not even the largest forest on the planet could tame it. And how did humanity discover this? With cutting-edge technology? Satellites? Supercomputers? None of that. In 1967, a group of geologists were flying over the Amazon in search of manganese when their helicopter ran out of fuel. Forced landing. Emergency. End of the mission, or the beginning of everything. They landed in the middle of the jungle and something caught their attention. A strange clearing. A hole in the endless green carpet of the Amazon. Why didn't a forest grow there? The answer was under their feet. The soil was too pure iron. So laden that the tree roots simply gave up. It's like trying to plant a flower inside a block of concrete. Nature tried, and lost. The trees looked at that metallic ground and thought, it won't work here. Curious, the geologists made the simplest gesture possible. They struck one stone against another. They expected a dry sound of ordinary rock. But they heard a metallic clinking. At that moment, they understood. They hadn't found just any stone. They had stumbled upon a geological lottery. And there was still a layer protecting it all, the kanga. A hard, resistant crust, like a scar from the earth covering an ancient treasure. What was underneath? Iron. Lots of iron. But not just any iron. In almost the entire world, mining iron is hard and inefficient work. Tons of rock to extract a little bit of metal. Not in Karajas. There, the ore reaches over 65% purity. It's the concentrated juice of iron. In some places, it seems that the earth has already delivered the finished material, just waiting for someone to notice. And they did. Today, the mines are so large that entire cities could fit inside them. Seen from above, they look like giant amphitheaters, red steps carved into the heart of the forest. On one side, the Amazon pulsating with life. On the other, man digging up billions of years of history to sustain modern civilization. And so the final question remains. Did you ever imagine that a simple forced helicopter landing could change the economy of an entire country? Have you ever stopped to think that perhaps right now, there's a treasure beneath your feet, just waiting to be discovered? To keep this machine running, humankind had to do something inevitable, create machines worthy of the giant that was awakening. But what kind of machine can face a mountain of iron? We're not talking about excavators for urban construction. We're talking about steel monsters that make a bus look like a toy. Off-road trucks. The name says it all. They don't belong to the ordinary world. A single tire on these colossi is about 4 meters high. 4 meters. If you parked your average car next to one of these wheels, you could change the oil standing up, without a jack, effortlessly. The only risk? Being crushed by a hubcap that weighs more than your entire car. And then comes the obvious question. If the machine is this size, what is the size of the operation? The answer isn't just in the excavation. It's in the path that this iron travels after it comes out of the ground. Because sitting idle in the middle of Para is worthless. And that's where one of the planet's greatest logistical arteries was born, the Karajas Railway. Imagine a train so long it defies the notion of waiting. You stop at the level crossing. You get out of the car. You make a coffee. You read a chapter of a book. You look again. And it's still passing. It's almost 4 kilometers long, hundreds of wagons loaded to the brim. If this train were a line of people, it would cross entire neighborhoods. It's this steel serpent that connects the heart of the Amazon to the ports, and from the ports to the world. This iron becomes a building in China, a bridge in Europe, a skyscraper in Dubai. And ironically, it also becomes that forgotten spoon in your morning coffee cup. But this is where the story changes tone. Because every giant comes at a price. How do you make a hole this size in the middle of the largest rainforest on the planet, without destroying it? The contrast is almost surreal. On one side, the intense red of the mining area, a sea of exposed land. On the other, a dense, living, breathing green ocean. And in the middle of it all, an irony that's hard to swallow. The mining area, being extremely guarded and controlled, is often more preserved than the areas outside the reserve, where illegal deforestation advances unchecked. It's as if the iron giant were an intimidating security guard. It occupies a lot of space, it's frightening. But it prevents the worst from happening around it. Even so, the balance is fragile. Each ton of iron extracted is a piece of the mountain that disappears forever. Each advance requires water, energy, absolute control. There is no undo button in geology. Operating on Karajas is like trying to perform heart surgery using an excavator. It requires absurd precision so that the iron heart continues beating without killing the green body that sustains it. And while you watch this video, while the city sleeps, while the forest breathes, this giant doesn't stop. Colossal machines continue digging into our future. The question that remains isn't whether we'll continue extracting iron. It's how long the Earth will be able to deliver, without charging too high a price. Ultimately, the Serra dos Corajes is much more than a giant hole in the map of Para. It's the exact point where Earth's deep past, forged billions of years ago, meets your most common routine, with the alarm clock ringing tomorrow morning. Remember that nail in the wall or the refrigerator we mentioned at the beginning? After learning this story, looking at these objects is no longer the same. They cease to be just cold metal and begin to represent something greater. Pieces of an Amazonian mountain that cross the country on a train of kilometers to reach you. It's strange to think about it. Every steel beam in our cities carries a bit of the brute force of Brazilian geology. A material that was born at the bottom of the primitive ocean, remained hidden for ages, and today supports buildings, bridges, tracks, and machines all over the world. Corajes shows something that few places manage to show with such clarity. Brazil is not just a country of forest and biodiversity, but also one of the physical foundations of modern civilization. Without this iron, many things simply wouldn't stand. But this wealth comes with an equally significant challenge. The real test isn't extracting the ore, but ensuring that, while progress advances, the surrounding forest continues to exist. That the green continues to breathe, balancing the climate and sustaining life. The image that remains is simple and powerful, an immense red amphitheater surrounded by a green ocean. Two completely different worlds, sharing the same space. A delicate balance that needs to be maintained every day. Corajes will continue to exist, pulsating silently beneath the Amazon. But perhaps the greatest wealth it offers us isn't just the iron that comes out in train cars, but the awareness that metal builds cities, while the forest sustains everything that lives within them. And now the reflection. After learning this story, can you look at a metal object in your daily life in the same way? And so we come to the end of another adventure. What an incredible place we visited today, wasn't it? I hope you felt the energy and beauty of this destination as much as I did. If you enjoyed traveling with me and want to explore many other paradises around the world, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's free and you'll be sure not to miss any of our upcoming expeditions. In addition to subscribing, leave a like if this video showed you something new and tell me in the comments, what was your favorite part of this trip? Or what place would you like to visit on our next destination? Until the next video.